በዛው እንሄዳለን but Teams might not have my sound too because በዛ ጋር I don't know የቱ ጋር እንደቆምኩኝ so የሼርፖይንት REST APIን እቀጥላለሁኝ አሁን uh, እዚህ የኔ ፕለግ የተደረገበት ይሆናል I don't know maybe because I use different device derive ስለምጠቀም ለሪከርዲንጉ sorry about that ስለ ቴክኒካል ዲፊከልቲው ግን እንቀጥላለን okay I will say yeah okay እዚህ when we go to like የሰብሳይቶችን or ማለት ከሩት ዌቡ ጀምረን ነው የምንሄደው እና I try to go to the root web and then when I send the request I get the response back so this response እናውራ ይሄ response ስናየው this is what we call JSON JSON data ነው ይሄ so this is a JSON it's a record so record ማለት አንድ ሮው ሼርፖይንት ሊስት ውስጥ አንድ ሮውን አንድ አይተምን ስታስቡት እያንዳንዱ ኮለም is a property ይሄንን እንደዛ አስቡት አንድ ሪከርድ ነው የመጣው ይሄ አንድ ኮለም ቫልዩ ትሩ ነው ቡሊየን የሆነ this value empty ነው string ነው this is app instance id ይላል this is a value for that which is a string this is a class welcome page it says a null null can be assigned to a string too and most of the time we assign a null to an object or a record ይሄንን ይመስላል ለምሳሌ ይሄንን ብታዩት current change token ይላል current change token this a record ሲሆን always በቅንፍ እንደዚህ አድርገን ነው የምንጀምረው and sometimes there are also collections or array ሲሆን ደግሞ like በስኩዌር bracket ነው የምንጀምረው let's say I'm going to go get all the SharePoint lists under this site collection so what we do is underscore API web ካልን በኋላ /lists lists እንላለን and then when we send this you can see that I get all of my SharePoint lists this way. So you can see here, I have got a JSON record, and then there is a property called value, and this value is basket bracket መጀመሪያው. So what it means is the value value is a property. The value assigned to this property is a collection. ኮሌክሽን ሲሆን አንድ ሪከርድ ሳይሆን መልቲፕል ነው እኛም ኤክስፔክት የምናደርገው ከሼርፖይንት ሊስቶችን አምጣልኝ ካልኩ እዚህ ሳይት ውስጥ ያሉት ሊስቶች አንድ ብቻ አይደሉም ከአንድ በላይ ናቸው it could be zero but here anything is assumed as a list libraryም list ነው everything is a list so I have this all lists but if you go here you probably see more lists why because this will return um, hidden lists ለምሳሌ this list is called a catalog hub site if I go to under my site content I don't see a list called እንደዚህ so scroll it down here ታይትሉ app data የሚባል ሊስት አለ ይላል I don't see any app data እዚህ ጋር find it no app data so what are those lists those lists are hidden and it is only used by the system so እዚህ ጋር ወደ ላይ ስትሄዱ there is hidden የሚባል property አለ true if hidden is true then it's not the SharePoint list that you see in the UI so ለምሳሌ this list is hidden people's I saw like there are some people's I don't know the reason but and contracting short term contracting የነበርኩበት ስራ ነበረ from my company እና ለተወሰነ ጊዜ ሄጄ ምን አድርጎታል ሊስቶቹን በሙሉ ሂድን አድርጎታል ለምን because they don't want users to interact with the list they want users to interact through the power apps እና እንደዛ እንዲሆን ስለተፈለገ እና ሳይት ኮንተንት ውስጥ ሲሄዱ ሌሎች ሰዎች ድንገት ነክተው እንዳይቀይሩ ስለተፈለገ they made it hidden እና the power apps so there is no documentation about it and then so ሳየው በኤፒአይ ቼክ ሳደርገው ብዙ ሊስቶች እንዳሉ እያንዳንዱ ሊስት በውስጡ ብዙ ዴታ እንደያዘ ነበር anyways you can make SharePoint lists hidden እዚህ ጋር መተን can I hide this one no the answer is no the way you can make it hidden is using a PowerShell or PNP PowerShell whichever PowerShell method you use or በኤፒአይ ትችላላችሁ በኤፒአይ we can change that property to true ኤኒ ሊስትን ኦር ላይብረሪን ወስደን ሃይድ ማድረግ ትችላላችሁ። አም፣ እ፣ አሁን ዛሬ እሱን አናደርግበት። እቺ ሂድን ፕሮፐርቲ ትሩ ከሆነች ከአይናችን ላይ ይጠፋል። ግን ያ ማለት ሊስቱ ጠፋ ማለት አይደለም። And then the only way you can interact with that list is by using its ID. ጉይዱን ነው የምትጠቀሙት ማለት ነው instead of the SharePoint because ስለማይታያችሁ ፓወር አፕስም ውስጥ ፓወር አውቶሜትም ላይ እንደዚህ ነው የምትጠቀሙት። um, okay, so okay, I don't want to see those. I don't want to see those hidden ones because it doesn't make any sense. እጅ ያለው s with s, anybody with s? እጅ ሰላም፣ ጥያቄ ካላችሁ go ahead ወይስ ኦኬ እጃችሁን አውርዱ እንግዲህ ጥያቄ ከሌላችሁ I can continue ማለት ነው። Okay. Um, all right, this is good, but I don't want to see those lists which are not the ones, for example, app files. I don't know app files. We don't have app files. Company documents. Yep, I have company documents right here, and you can see it has 11 documents or folders in it. And then this company document is what the license need. Major version limit to 500 ነው. Major minor version limit to 20 ነው. Item count 11. It has 11 items in it. እያለኝ ነው። ወደ ላይ ስንሄዱ ስትሄዱ ሂድን የሚለው ፕሮፐርቲ እዚህ ጋር ፎልስ ነው። So those types of lists are the one that I want to see. So let's see how do I get all the SharePoint lists that are not hidden. Okay, I'm going to come here, Ziga. So we're going to use OData. ቅድም PowerPoint ላይ አይታችሁታል እና የአንደኛው ፕሮቶኮል ኦዴታ ነው። ኦዴታ is a part of the URL ዩአርኤሉ ላይ እዚህ ጋር የምንሰጠው ሲሆን በኩዌሪ ስትሪንግ ፓራሜትር ነው የምንሰጠው which means that it always starts with question mark, and if you have multiple OData you're going to use end or ampersand አድርገን ነው የምንጠቀመው. This is how we use it. The question mark, and then the first OData that I'm going to tell you about is the dollar sign filter. Filter dollar sign filter is one of the OData ከሼርፖይንት ማለት ነው። ሌላ ያ ማለት አፕልም ኤፒአይ ካለው ዶላር ሳይን ፊልተርን ይጠቀማል ማለት አይደለም። ሜቢ they might call it filter only, ፊልተር ሊሉ ይችላሉ። so በሼርፖይንት ስንመጣ ግን ዶላር ሳይን and then filter, and then the way you do here is filter is equal to, and then the value, the property comparison operator and the value. For example, the property that I'm going to go check is hidden, and the comparison operator, if I can do that, is not equal to, which is በኦዴታችን ላይ because ታይም ስለሌለኝ እዚህ ሄጄ ዲቴይሉን እዛ ጋር እንትን አላደርግላችሁም። ግን ኤንኢ is for not equal to, EQ is for equal to, greater than equal to ማለት ከፈለግን GE greater than ለማለት GT less than ለማለት LT. This is pretty much close to the PowerShell operators ናቸው. So I'm going to say not equal to FALSE, false. So if I do this and then send the request, so go back again and I don't see hidden true no title. Why is this is coming like that? HIDDEN. Oh, not equal to true ነው ማለት ያለ ነበረብኝ. I'm so sorry. Hidden not equal to true. Okay, so hidden true ለምን አመጣብኝ ብዬ ነበረ. Okay, here we go. Hidden is false because I said don't bring if a hidden is equal to true. Okay, so if hidden not equal to true is when I want it. So which means that hidden is false. Here we go. And this one is the መጀመሪያው item የመጣልኝ company document ነው። ወደ ታች scroll ሁለተኛው customers ነው. And how many items አለው? 1000 items አለው. I have customers list somewhere here and it has 1000 and it goes and goes and goes. I'm going to go talk to about the second OData, which we call it a select OData. Select OData ደግሞ ምንድን ነው? Okay. From a record, I wanna cut some of the record. ይሄ ከመቶ ሪከርዶችን ከሚያመጣ ፊልተር ስታደርጉ የተወሰነ ሪከርዶችን ያመጣል. But I don't want to see all of these properties. ለምሳሌ I don't want to see all of these properties. I only see title, this item count, maybe እና description ይፈልጋለሁ. ታይትል ዲስክሪፕሽን እና አይተም ካውንትን ብቻ ያምጣልኝ ከእያንዳንዱ ብዬ ብል the way you do is can you mute Ehan 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 okay good um so I want to cut ይሄ ፕሮፐርቲ ይሄን ሁሉ ፕሮፐርቲ አልፈልግም the only thing that I need in the data is the title እና description እና አይተም ካውንቱን ብቻ ያምጣልኝ ብዬ ካልኩኝ so the way you do is we're gonna go put and another ኦዴታ ልጠቀም ስለሆነ the first ኦዴታ ስንጠቀም question mark እናደርጋለን that's how we do in query string and then any additional query string parameters are going to be using ampersand and then now the one that I'm going to use is select is equal to ብዬ የሚፈልገውን ፕሮፐርቲዎችን ነው የምጠራው ታይትል አምጣልኝ ለምሳሌ አይተም ካውንት ያምጣልኝ and description ላምጣልኝ okay so here what I'm saying is go only read bring only the title item count and not description property for all of the SharePoint list so I'm going to go send it this and pretty quick I got what I need Ziga so this is my SharePoint list the first SharePoint list I got is the company document and the number of items in there is 11 it doesn't have any description the second one is customers the third one is customer from Excel demo list documents events form template የሚባል አለ they say that this is the description in there so I have form template this is the one if I go to this list setting you can see here there's a description okay so this is the form template this is the description so that's the one that we see it doesn't have any item in it yep we already looked at it so it does the form template doesn't have anything in there and it goes down so those are all of the SharePoint lists that I want okay now we got it right so there is a way to read SharePoint without going to the UI through REST API one of the other thing actually that I wanted you see is that we cannot do in Power Platform is SharePoint groups um, SharePoint permission እና ግሩፖችን ስታዩት ለምሳሌ site content site setting ጋር እንሄዳለሁ site permission and I'm going to go to advanced site permission those are the SharePoint groups that has access to my SharePoint site. So I have contribute, no delete, summer 23 members, this only three owners, the visitors, የሚባሉ SharePoint groups are. So there are SharePoint groups and there are Office 365 groups. And there is in Power Apps ላይ if a user is in this group, don't show ምናምን ብትባሉ ለምሳሌ ይሄንን አንድ ግሩፕ ክሬት አድርገ እዛ because the way we manage permissions in SharePoint is by going to permission setting ግሩፖችን ክሬት እናደርጋለን this is the old style of how actually not old style nowadays that's how we do it SharePoint has its own groups and then we can add Office 365 groups into SharePoint groups and a different company has different policy of the way they manage permissions I'm not going to talk about that አሁን ግን what if I wanted to see what are the different groups in SharePoint here how many groups I do I have I'm going to go to size setting እዚህ ጋር I clicked the wrong one size setting here those are the areas where we handle this is the area where we handle permissions in SharePoint right so if we go to peoples and groups if I go to peoples and groups who are the peoples who has access to my SharePoint and what are the different SharePoint or Office 365 groups that has access to my SharePoint or is created in my SharePoint site but maybe has limited access and etc. So if you go here in the left more, I have all of this SharePoint groups. So I can see here test group, and here I have summer 2023 visitors and summer 2023 owners. How do we read this in Power Automate in Power Apps? Let me say go here because የክላሴ ኦር የዴሞዌ ዋነኛው እንትን ላስተምራችሁ አልነበረም ፓወር REST API ላስተምር አይደለም but let's say you have a REST API and there is a mechanism to interact with SharePoint so the mechanism to interact with SharePoint is without using the UI is REST API and when we work with Power Platform like Power Apps for example and if I go create a blank app in Power Apps, I'm going to just create a Canvas app and I'm going to say demo. um, REST API demo ልበለው REST demo ልበለው okay አፑን and I'm gonna go create REST demo app and I'm gonna skip this guy and I don't like my display to fit in so I'm gonna go scale it out so that I can use in different devices responsive in the whole ስለምፈልግ anyways I'm gonna rename this guy um, screen is fine demo um, rest go API screen main screen main screen in this screen I just wanted to see all of my SharePoint groups okay so እነዚህን ግሩፖች ማየት ፈለኩ ኤንድ ይሄ ነው የተሰጠኝ እና ሼርፖይንት ግሩፖችን ያምጣና እዛ ጋር ዩዘሮችን እያንዳንዱ ግሩፕ ውስጥ ያለውን ዩዘሮች ሊበል አንድ ሰው እና so for example if I go to summer 2023 members I have one two group people in this group this is actually my temporary playground tenant ነው የማስተምርበት there are a lot of groups and the users are in the groups users or Office 365 groups are in SharePoint groups you cannot add SharePoint groups into a SharePoint groups. That is impossible. But I want to see these all groups. Okay. So I was asked, can you create a Power Apps where I can manage all SharePoint groups? Task ተሰጣችሁ. Okay. ወይ ለማይክ ወይ ለጀማል ለሚኒ ማን የተሰጠ ልበል and I'm going to go add, okay, it seems simple. And they, yep, it exists in SharePoint. Users had to go side settings, side ምናምን እዚህ ጋር መምጣት tedious ስለሆነ they would just wanted an app. So when I come here, the first thing I do is I have to connect my SharePoint to my app. And I'm going to go here, I'm going to search for SharePoint, okay? So when I go to SharePoint here and try to connect, and I'm going to go find my SharePoint site, which is summer 2023, here it is. And the only data source that you guys have is you can create a SharePoint list or library, or you can pick any list or library. And we don't have a mechanism to get SharePoint groups and display it right here. Okay. Not only that, can you display all of the SharePoint lists? This is egal, you know what I mean? Display all of my SharePoint lists so that when I click on one list, and I just wanted to add items to that specific list, or I want to see items in that specific list. I wanted to see all of my SharePoint lists in these Power Apps. It leaves a pretty simple question, but how do we show that? You know what I mean? There is no way, Adam. Unless otherwise you do manually, there is no way that you can አምጣ እዚህ ጋር ሁሉንም ሼርፖይንት ሊስቶች ዲስፕሌይ አድርግልኝ ብዬ አንድ ሰውን ኢንተርቪው ባደርግ how are you going to do it? እስቲ ምንድን ነው የምትሰጡኝ እናንተ አይናለም ቢሊ ብርቱካን no way okay መልሱ ምንም ሜካኒዝም የለም yes አንድ ተንብሳብ እየሰማችሁን ለመሆን ለማሳየት አንድ ሰው ተንብሳብ ተንብሳብ so oh yes የለም but earlier we saw a way to get all of SharePoint lists right here how using REST API and this is the endpoint this is the endpoint for that and then so can we really bring okay so this is not going to work so I'm not going to add it but because I wanted all of my SharePoint lists not only one list okay so okay it's good I'm going to go to add a gallery there you go I'm going to add a gallery because I want to bring all of my SharePoint lists and then we'll talk to SharePoint groups I'm going to just make it that one is this guy is 0 let me make it this one a little bit of header list owner I think still list okay and parent now where's and I think this is good I'm going to keep this one I'm going to change it into title and subtitle and the title is going to be the head is going to be parent head minus self.y okay just gonna give it that one. So this is gonna list all of my SharePoint list. ይሄኛው ታይትሉ SharePoint list ታይትል ይሁን። እቺ ከታች ያለችው ደግሞ how many items እዛ ሊስት ውስጥ እንዳሉ ይንገረኝ። Okay? and there is no mechanism to handle this. So the only way you could do this is, okay, SharePoint ሊስቶችን ልናመጣ ነው. Okay, so this is going to be gallery one. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to say all SharePoint list gallery ልበል. Okay, and ሳይት ዩአርኤሉን ለጊዜው ዲፎልት ላድርገው። ከፈለግን ደግሞ እዚህ ጋር we can give site URL እንዲያስገቡ ማድረግ እንችላለን። but ለአሁኑ ዝም ብለን ዲፎልት የ2023 ሆነ ይሰጠዋለሁ። So how do we get it? So the only way we can do is REST API. But can we call REST API ከዚህ ጋር can we call REST API fetch data or something ከpower apps? The answer is ከዚህ power apps ጋር ሆነን there was ፕሪቪው ላይ የነበረ አንድ ፈንክሽን ነበረ ረስት ኮል ማድረጊያ at some point I think they discontinued before they put it preview የሚባለው area if you go to the setting upcoming feature የሚል አለ እና እዚህ ጋር የረስት ኤፒአይን ሰፖርት የሚያደርግ ፕሪቪው የሆኑት እንትን ነበሩ ኤክስፐሪመንታል ውስጥ ያሉ እነዚህ ኤክስፐሪመንታል ከሆኑ ኢኔብል አድርጋችሁ ብትጠቀሙ ኢስ ኦን ዩ። ለምሳሌ አንዳንድ ፒዲኤፍ ፈንክሽኖች አሉ but can you use it in your ስራ ቦታ? the answer is no because እየተጠቀማችሁ ከሆነ you need to be on top of the news of Microsoft at some point ይሄንን ፕሪቪው ኤክስፐሪመንታል ያደረጉትን ዲስኮንቲኒው ቢያደርጉ because they didn't release it የሰራችሁት ነገር ይቆማል እና ለዛ ፕሪቪው ላይ ነበረ I think they discontinue ያደረጉት እና ሪታይር ያስደርጉታል. So you need to make sure that you fix your functions and all of the things that you used preview ላይ or something ላይ የነበረ እዚህ ጋር እነሱ enable ካደረጉ enable አድርጎታል. There is a preview feature that I need later on but I don't know የእናንተ environment ላይ ቼክ እንድታደርጉት ስለዚህ ፌች የሚል ነገር ነበረ እና አሁን አቁሞታል because there is another mechanism way of doing it. I'm going to take you to Power Automate እዚሁ ጋር እያለን Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, they're all Power Platform and Power Virtual Agent ሶስተኛው የኤአይ ፓርት የያዘ ማለት ነው. So this is my Power Automate and if I go create a flow and I'm going to just say it doesn't matter. I can do this just temporarily an instance flow. I can even skip it. Let me give this demo and demo REST API. And I'm going to use that flow, instant flow. Let me use that one because I don't want anything here. I'm going to go add an action. So when you add an action, you can just search by REST, R-E-S-T. So when you do REST, there are different REST APIs. If you are interacting directly with SharePoint, a REST API direct to SharePoint, this one is the right way to go. But we could use this one too, an HTTP, which requires authentication authorization. But this one is a connector which encapsulates ያንን authentication authorization encapsulates ስለሚያደርግልን I'm going to go use this one. Okay? ይሄኛውን ካደረግን we have to use authentication authorization app ID app secret ምናምን ወስደን ቶከን ጀነሬት አድርገን ነው የምናደርገው which is a little bit complicated ለአሁኑ ለሼርፖይንት ጋር ዳይሬክትሊ ኢንተራክት ለማድረግ ይሄንን ከተጠቀምን ግን what it does is it's going to create a connection connector አለ የሼርፖይንት connector so it uses your credential to connect to SharePoint so you don't need to authorize authenticate you have to have access to that SharePoint list SharePoint site I'm going to use that HTTP መላክ so እንደምታዩት እዚህ ጋር what is your site ይለኛል I'm going to go pick my SharePoint site my SharePoint site is summer 2023 and the method that I'm going to be doing is get because look at that it looks like this URL method and header so I'm going to go here and then go back here and then the URI is going to be in the Ziga እንደምታዩት it gave you an example an example is underscore API web lists ምናምን እያለ ነው so I'm going to go do that but because we already tested the URL Ziga so I don't need anything beyond that because the site URL already ስላለው I only need this section of my okay I'm so going to copy that so I'm going to get keep the O data. Okay, so I'm going to take that and again paste right here. And then here, headers. Headers are the headers that we use is እዚህ ጋር accept የሚለው property ነው. Choose the character. So accept is the header. I'm going to just copy that one, but I can type in, accept. እዚህ ጋር ከንትን ከሚለው እችን ኮፒ አድርጌ ልጻፋት application forward slash json semicolon or data is equal to no metadata. So I'm going to build that and make sure that this side one. So I'm going to save it. Okay. So let's do run it. I'm going to just do a quick test. So I'm going to go test this guy manually and then test it because this is so it's asking me, you're going to be using your own connection, yep, permission and the stuff. Yep, go for it and then run the flow and done. Here's what I found. Sorry about that. And here, as you can see here, it's going to be 200. And I got, where is my get እንትን response to 200 ነው. So I'm going to go show output እዚህ ጋር actually እዚህ ጋር ይታያችኋል. You see this? እዛ ጋር ይመጣልን እዚህ ጋር መጥተዋል. You see that all thing? Bam, right? You see that? All right, so if we go to this output, you can see here the details of the response. Status code 200, that is the header of the response, but what we care about is the body. So I have the body, which is this record. You see that? All that record is the body. So you can see here I have description, document, and title. So I'm gonna just copy. I don't have to copy Ziga, but I can copy here because I'm gonna edit this guy, and we have to put this in a variable. And when we work with Power Apps and Power Automate, it's gonna be a little bit the request to SharePoint ጋር የሚመጣ ከሆነ if the request is coming from Power Apps ይሄኛውን አይደለም ትሪገር የምንጠቀመው and once we complete we have to send back the data ይሄንን ዴታ ይመጣሉልንን ወደ SharePoint ወደ Power Apps መልሰን መላክ አለብን. So for that what we're going to do is instead of this manual trigger I'm going to delete that manual trigger ይሄንን I can delete it because I wanted do this from Power Apps እዚህ ጋር ይሄ ነገር ያንን ፍሎውን ኮል እንዲያደርገው ፈልጋለሁ። ሶ ያንን ለማድረግ ምንድን ነው የምናደርገው? ይሄንን ማኑዋል ትሪገር ሳይሆን ትሪገር የሚያደርገው ይሄንን I'm going to delete that ትሪገር የሚያደርገው ፓወር አፕስ ነው። So I'm going to say power apps trigger ያድርገው. You see that? So now what I'm saying is, okay, I have this power apps, that power apps, whatever power apps ሊሆን ይችላል እና I'm going to go have a power apps. When something comes from power apps, it will do this, which already we tested it and worked. And then what we're going to do is, okay, የመጣውን data, I'm going to go new step here. I don't have to do new step. I can just simply say, yep, new step. I'm going to go here, power apps again. Respond to power apps የሚል አለ. Respond to, yep, power apps. Here we go. Respond to power apps. So a request came from power apps, and then this action did REST API call, ada? And then we're going to return whatever we got from this call to the power apps. So I'm going to use that power apps, and here, what are we returning? So we can return different type of data. So as you can see here, you can return the text, you can return yes or no, you can return a file, you can return an email, you can return a number, you can return a date, but there is no way you can return a table. ኦል እዚህ ጋር ይሄኛው ፓወር አፕሳችን ይሄኛው ምንድነው ሪኩዌስት ኤክስፔክት የሚያደርገው ቴብል ነው ኮሌክሽንን ነው all the SharePoint lisትን ነው ኤክስፔክት የሚያደርገው. So we're going to do a little bit of function writing እዚህ ጋር ግን but before that let me see here, let me return a data, some data. I'm going to name it, it doesn't matter, lists ልበለው or whatever, it doesn't matter, or data ብንለው ችግር የለውም, lists ልበለው እንደው lists. And here I'm going to get the body. You see that? I'm going to take that body, and the property that I'm returning is called the listus, and the value that I'm returning is the body. ቅድም body ውስጥ የነበረው the body ስንል ምን ይመስላል? ይሄንን ነው የሚመስለው. So as you can see here, the body looks like this, and then this. Okay, so What I have to get is the body has a property called the value. This body has a property called the value. So I have to get a value, which is a collection. But what I usually need in SharePoint እዚህ ጋር እንዲመጣልኝ የሚፈልገው ግን ይሄንን collection ነው እንዲመጣልኝ የሚፈልገው. Okay. So let's do this. It might instead of okay, I'm gonna go return this way. But I would rather do is I'm gonna go right እዚህ ጋር add an action and there is JSON parsing የሚያደርግ አለ parse JSON function. We can take the body and then we can put it generate schema. The schema is ይሄንን ነው የሚመስለው. Like as you can see here, this is the body. So I can copy this whole response እዚህ ጋር as a temporary and then you can put it in a notepad or Visual Studio Code. Doesn't matter. I'm going to put it in notepad. ሳምፕሉን ነው ይሄንን ነው የሚመስለው. But I don't think we need all of this junk. I'm going to just keep a few of them. And let's see, maybe delete all of this. We don't need all of that. This is a sample ነው የተፈለገው. So what I expect is a collection, something like this. So it means that all of the SharePoint lists ያመጣ ቦዲው ይሄንን እንደዚህ አይነት ነገር ነው የሚኖረው. So I'm going to copy this and because what my Power Automate here needs is a schema. ራሱ ስኪማውን ጀነሬት እንዲያደርግ ካረጋችሁ በኋላ ኮፒ አድርጋችሁ እዚህ ጋር ማስቀመጥ አለባቸው። I'm going to go generate sample ከዚህ ሳምፕል ላይ ስኪማ ጀነሬት አድርግልኝ ስለው እዚህ ጋር እንደምታዩት እንደዚህ ነው ስኪማ ጀነሬት የሚያደርገው because you don't have to worry about generating schema. አሁን እዚህ ጋር ስታዩት ዲስክሪፕሽን ይልና string ብሎ እንደዚህ ያስቀምጣል. Sometimes if the description could be null ኤረር ስለሚሰጣችሁ እዚህ ጋር little bit of manipulation ልታደርጉ ትችሉ ይሆናል. Sometimes it might fail into error. እዚህ ጋር save it. Once I save that one earlier እዚህ ጋር አሁን ለምሳሌ ቦዲውን ሳይሆን መመለስ ያለብኝ you can say here if I type in value you see that I can return a value. So what it means is ከዚህ ውስጥ ይሄንን ቫሊዩን ነው የሚመልሰው. What is the value? value ማለት ኮሌክሽኑ ነው. all of SharePoint ሊስቶች ኮሌክሽን የያዘ ነው አይደል? ይሄ ሪከርድ ነው. ሪከርድን ክሬት ስታደርጉ እንደዚህ ነው. like አንድ ሪከርድ is ይሄ ኦኬ አንዳንድ ሪከርድ ናቸው። ሪከርድን ክሬት ስናደርግ በኦፕን በሴት ብራኬት እንከፍትና ሴት ብራኬት እንዘጋለን። አንድ ሪከርድ ነው ይሄ another record. If it is more than one, then it's going to be a collection. Collection is going to sit in this square bracket. So ይሄ collection አንድ ሶስት ያለው አይተም ያለው ነው ለምሳሌ. So this is what I expect and I'm going to pass this with the Power Apps እንዲሄድ ይፈልጋለሁ. So that's what I did እዚህ ጋር. I'm going to save it. Okay, I just saved that and then we can quickly test that and we can see what it looks like. But we're gonna do it everything all together. So this is my Power Apps. I named it REST API demo REST API. I can go to Power Automate Power Apps Ziga and then you can go to the in the left navigation here. There is a Power Apps, this one. So when you click on that Power Apps, you can refresh it. You can do a refresh or add a flow. When you see that add a flow, it will start bringing all of my flows. I don't see it because I have to refresh this page, okay? ይህንን ሪፍሬሽ ማድረግ አለብን። ያኛውን ፍሎ ፓወር አውቶሜት የሰራሁት ከዚህ ቢሆን ኖሮ አውቶማቲካሊ ይመጣል። but I created my Power Automate in the Power Automate studio. Power Apps refresh ላድርግና it will recognize my Power Automate. Here I'm going to go to that and then I'm going to go add. You see that? You see that my demo? Yes? Yes? That's the one, okay? So I'm going to go click on that and then, oh la la, here we go. So my demo REST API is added here. So to get data from this REST API, demo REST API, Power Automate ምንም ኤክስፔክት የሚያደርገው ዴታ የለም። ሶ ሼርፖይንታችን ውስጥ የሚሄደው ሼርፖይንት 2013 ጁን ምናምን የሚለው ሳይት ኮሌክሽን ላይ ነው which is this guy. And እዚህ ጋር how am I gonna capture data that's coming from this? So I'm gonna go to the app እዚህ ጋር Apuga, app filter, I have different screens. Apuga, there are different events አሉ። አፑ ገና ሎድ ሲያደርግ ብለን ብናደርገው much sense ይሰጣል። So I'm going to go to on start. I'm going to expand this guy to write some more functions. I'm going to put it right here. And let's call that chin function. Okay, so it's called Yanin Power Apps. It's called the demo REST API dot run. So I'm going to say demo REST API dot run, and I close the function. So as you can see here, demo REST API dot run. ምንድን ነው What is the data type of this? It's a record. Okay, it's a record. So this is a record which has a property called እዚህ ጋር ከፓወር አውቶሜት የመጣ እዚህ ጋር ምን ብዬ ነው ፕሮፐርቲውን የሰየምኩት ሊስትስ ነው ያልኩት so I'm gonna go here um, I'm gonna go here put that this ይሄንን ኮል ስታደርግ የሆነ ነገር ሪከርድ ይመልሳል ይላል ይሄ so ሪከርድ የሚመልስ ከሆነ የመጣውን ሪከርድ የሆነ ቫሪብል ላይ ላስቀምጠው እዚህ ጋር okay I'm gonna say set I'm gonna name it lists JSON and I'm gonna name it this way okay I just label a variable name okay so I just say set that variable put whatever data ከዛ የሚመጣውን እዚህ ላይ ያስቀምጥ ነው ያልኩት so I'm going to put it right that and you can quickly test it ይሄንን እዚህ ጋር so to test pretty easy you don't have to play run እቺን click here and run on start so when I do that okay it runs and it finishes and you can test check back here and you can see here succeeded okay so my run went through it only runs for 0.2 second is that 2 second or a kind of millisecond I guess about 200 millisecond maybe yeah I don't care come back here and how do we check it so if you go to the x which is the variables and then see the global variables and then see this guy and there is some value so you can see here double click on it and then that has look at that it has in it is a record it's called the listed and then the value is this JSON you see that so I'm gonna let me put pretty simple label ላስቀምጥ እዚህ ጋር let me put insert label I'm going to put it right here just በደንብ እንዲታየን let me expand it temporarily እንደዚህ expand ላድርገውና እንዲህ ላድርገውና and the value here is going to be what did I name it lists JSON dot lists okay save it I know dirty okay I'm going to put it right here ይታያችኋል እዚህ ጋር ይታያችኋል I'm going to make it see that this is a data you see this can you guys see that so this is coming from the SharePoint okay so this is coming from the Power Automate the Power Automate executes it and then it runs it and then it gave me back all of my SharePoint lists in this format but this is good but it's not something that I can just give it to this guy to display it so before we give it to this guy to display we need to write a little bit of function okay hopefully it's not that complicated for you all ምንድነው ይሄ JSON ነው እንደምታዩት so ይሄ lists JSON dot lists which is ከዚህ ፓወር አውቶሜት የመጣ ከዚህ ፓወር አውቶሜት የተመለሰው lists JSON which is dot lists የሚባለው ፕሮፐርቲ ከዚህ ጋር የመጣውን ከዚህ ጋር ኤክስኪዩት ያደረገውን the entire ከዚህ ሪስፖንስ የመጣውን ራን የተደረገውን ብናይ ይሻላል okay request to ከፓወር automate power apps መጣ and then this did http request and then this is what is coming back as a record in the bottom right here so እዚህ ጋር ከዚህ የተመለሰው ይሄንን ይመስላል ሊስት ሲልና this is it this is not a record you see that this is not a collection እንደምታዩት if it is inside of the two double quotes double quote like እንደዚህ double quote ውስጥ ከሆነ ምንድነው የምንለው string ነው this is a text that's why I was able to put it in the label ሌብል ምንድን ነው ኤክስፔክት የሚያደርገው? ሌብል ዳት ቴክስት ኤክስፔክትስ ቴክስት። ስለዚህ ቴክስቱን ነው እዚህ ጋር የምናየው። but this is not something that we cannot give to this gallery. So I'm going to delete this guy for temporary, the temporary reason. No? So I'm going to back to my app, Ziga, and then we're going to run a little bit of and pretty nice function. So here I'm going to go create a collection. Okay, I'm going to create a collection, and then I'm going to put write a little bit of parsing that ከዚህ የመጣውን ቴክስት ጄሰን ፓርስ እናደርጋለን። so instead of this እንደውም እዚህ ጋር lists json ዳት ይሄንን ዳት እናደርግን ኦኬ sorry about that I accidentally deleted the last dot lists. What did I do? What happened that one? What happened that guy? Okay, this one. Dot ስናደርገው here we go, the bottom list is set enough. So that's the one that I wanted to assign it to this list is okay. So which is a text in the method. It's not a record, it's a text. Text የተባለው ይሄ እዚህ ጋር የምናየው ጄሰን ነው። Okay, this JSON is comes as a text. Okay, that's why JSON is more favored የሚደረገው because we can pass between a heterogeneous system. Again, we need to parse it. And now parse ለማድረግ I'm not sure what your environment looks like. If you go to the upcoming feature and then type JSON, JSON, እዚህ ጋር ይሄ parse JSON የሚባል function አለ. This is called a parse JSON function. ከኔ ጋር ወስዳችሁ ድንገት ልጽፉ ስትሉ እምቢ ካላችሁ make sure that you go to the setting in your power apps and then go to the upcoming feature and then turn on that parse JSON. And then let me do that and then parse JSON, that's that, and then I'm gonna go create collect, okay? Clear collect, and then I'm gonna go create listoችን ማለት ነው and this is gonna be ከዛኛው ነው የማመጣው for all function እንጠቀማለሁ for all function ለእያንዳንዱ ከዚህ ጋር ጄሰን ለመጣው ማለት ነው I'll create a table. I'll create a table function አለ and then I'm going to parse JSON and then the parse JSON ብዬ ይሄንን list JSOንን parse አደርጋለሁ list JSON okay list is JSON. I parse that one and then I'm going to go close that guy and I'm going to go close this guy. I'm going to close that guy. Think of that one. How many open brackets ነው የፈጠርኩት? Okay, wait a minute. List is for all table and then table parse JSON that one and then this and then I'm going to open the bracket and I close the bracket and it needs to be parse JSON table parse JSON okay table እዚህ ጋር ተጀመረ needs exit out comma that one like that okay I know I could have made it a little bit easier ሳቴ overrun እያደረኩ ስለሆነ ነው if I put okay ቴብልን ቀደም ብዬ ብሰራው if I could create just a table okay እዚህ ጋር table variable create ባረግ መጀመሪያ okay within just a collection and then if I use that one እዚህ ጋር for all table ብል ግን easy ይሆንልኝ ነበር okay now it's pretty easy ይህንን variable ቀደም ብዬ ብሰራው okay and variable ላይ ባስቀምጥ another variable I'm trying to save my time and of course variable at the same time ለእያንዳንዱ table ከጄሰኑ ለመጣው ማለት ነው I'm going to go destructure it okay so what I'm getting ከዚህ ጋር what I'm getting is you see that description I'm going to just go here I'm going to say description okay I can just call them that one I can say value it's just going to be text okay text አድርጌ I'm going to say that and then I will put in value and that description እንደዛ until the last one እስከሚመጣ what did I do I'm gonna post that one. Okay. I can copy this guy multiple times. Okay. And ሁሉም ID እንትን except the እንትን item count የሚል አለ. I think the one of the other column that I expect is item count, which is a number. Item count, which is item count. And instead of this, I'm going to just use it value, which changes to that. And then the last one is title, and it's going to be a title. Okay. Do I have that? Oh, actually, that sound colon. I'm going to format it a little bit. Okay, there you go. So what I get from ከዚህ የመጣው እንደምታዩት I have this schema. Okay, schema ላይ ምንድነው expect የማደርገው the title የስኪማው ጋር እዚህኛው ስኪማ ጋር ኤክስፔክት የምናደርገው where is my schema? I thought I have a schema እዚህ ጋር there we go. ስኪማውን እዚህ ጋር ስናየው I have the title, I have description, I have item count. Title, item count እና description. Description is a text, item count is a number, title is a title which is a text. ስለዚህ እዚህ ጋር እንደዚህ አድርጌ ዲስትራክቸር አደረኩት ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ እዚህ ጋር whatever የመጣውን መጀመሪያ ቴክስት ስለሆነ ወደ ቴብል ቀይረው ወደ JSON object ቀይረው ካልኩት በኋላ I turn it into an object and then I use the table function to 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 change it into a collection. But it is going to be untyped የሆነ table ነው የሚሰጠኝ. It's called untyped. Untyped ስለሆነ I'm going to make it typed ለማድረግ I'm going to destructure it. Whatever የመጣውን description የሚላለው item count የሚላለው because we know what we expect ከዛ. So ይሄንን እንደዚህ ካረኩት you can see here lists የሚል collection create አረኩ ማለት ነው. This lists collection I can pass that lists collection ለዚህኛው gallery. So as you can see here, when I click on this gallery, I can use that collection. It's because it's a collection. So I'm going to grab that one. It doesn't show anything at this moment until I run this guy. So I'm going to go here, start run. Okay, it did something. It did something, as you can see here. But the only thing that we see in the bottom is right this one. So it already brought something. If you go to the variables area, Ziga, so if you go there, if you go to the collection, of course we have list, this is Ziga, and then you can go expand and see what it looks like. You can see here, description, item count, and not title. Why is title is not coming? Was it a title? Yeah, I thought it's a title. Maybe did I type mistyped Argana? Title ባዶ ሆኖ መጣ። Item count እና description መጥቷል. But okay, maybe mistyped አድርገን ነው እስቲ what is happening here? TIT value እዚህ ጋር ታይትል ነዋ ካፒታል ነበረ ማድረግ የነበረብን ሆነ እሺ እንደገና small title ነው የጻፍኩት okay yeah that kind of counts okay so here I'm gonna run it here we go so I have here company customer so I can go here for example in the bottom there is separator you got subtitle subtitle is that and the title is description I'm gonna go here chinyon title largo and the subtitle is gonna be number of items BA in this item dot item count here we go that one look at that you see that it will give all of this okay so number of items products የሚላለኝ products one የሚላለኝ those are all of my SharePoint lists clunky no UI በደንብ አያምርም that's fine but okay so but we got the data back you can see here we got the data back last but not least to get all the SharePoint groups ቅድም ብዬ የነበረውን I'm going to go do a little bit of REST API endpoint እዚህ ጋር to get all of the SharePoint groups, you can go to the web ካላችሁ በኋላ you can type in site groups. And if we say site groups and send it, you know, here we got all of my groups. As you can see here, each group name እዚህ ጋር ያያችሁ system account ቅድም እንደምትሉ system account create there are a lot of groups አሉ limited access ያለው ታይትሉ limited access summer 2023 owners የሚል አለ all of them are SharePoint groups, SV ግሩፖች ናቸው እነዚህ but if I don't like those groups እነዚህ limited access እና ኦነሩ ሲስተም አካውንት የሆነውን የማንፈልግ ከሆነ I can do the query ቅድም ኦዴታ question mark filter equal to that not equal to whatever system account is እዚህ ጋር ያለው እስቲ let me see that because I don't want to see this so I'm going to copy that so የቀደሙን ኦዴታ ነው የምጠቀመው if I do this that one and send it. So this is going to give me, you see that summer 2023 owners, summer 2023 visitors, summer 20 test group, another here summer 2023 members, contribute, no delete. Those are the SharePoint groups inside of that. So we have a REST API in the point. So the only thing that we need to do is እዚህ ጋር ያንን ፓወር አውቶሜት ይሄኛውን መድገም ነው። So I'm going to copy this ሁለተኛ ፓወር አውቶሜት and then or እዚህ ጋር ኢንድ ፖይንቱን መቀየር ማለት ነው። So እዚህ ጋር ያደረግነውን ብንቀይረው በዚህኛው so what we're going to get is something that looks like this. ከዚህ ውስጥ አይ እኔ የሚፈልገው ግሩፕ ኦነሩን እና ግሩፕ ኔሙን ነው which is the title of the group ነው የሚፈልገው የምንል ከሆነ so we just gonna get this end point and then we can add እዚህ ጋር select statement መጨመር select ኦዴታ መጨመር ትችላላችሁ and then question mark end and then say on dollar sign select is equal to what are the names title እና owner title so if I want a title ID owner title like that and send the request we get something like this as you can see here we get something like this title owner title and id title owner title um እዚህ ይሄ አንዱ ግሩፕ ነው አንዱ ግሩፕ አሁን ለምሳሌ this is what we call summer 2023 members if I go to that summer 2023 members ጋር መሄድ ከፈለኩ you can say site groups get by id 5 ነው አይዲው members የሚለው እና if you go there we just get that group summer 2023 members and እዚህ ግሩፕ ውስጥ ያሉትን ዩዘሮች ብትፈልጉ we just gonna add forward slash users ለዚህ በጣም በቂ ኢንፎርሜሽን አለ so this is gonna give me the two users and አዴልን እና አዴል ቨንስ እና I think the other one is Diego okay ሁለቱ ግሩፕ ውስጥ ያሉትን so basically we have REST API endpoint we have our Power Automate and this is a sample that calls the REST API ከSharePoint if it is non-SharePoint I don't have time to go through now ነን ሼርፖይንት የሆነ ግሩፕ ከሆነ ግን we could just grab የነን ሼርፖይንት ግሩፕን የነን ሼርፖይንት የሆነ REST API ፕሪሚየም ኮኔክሽን ይፈልጋል we could use another API I did iTunes search የአይቱን ሰርች ማድረጊያ REST API ነበረ ከአይቱን ላይ ሚውዚቃዎችን ሰርች አድርጎ የሚያመጣ ነበረ so that was one of the things that I ለክላስ ተማሪዎች ያሳየሁት ለዛ ጊዜ HTTP ብቻ ነው የተጠቀምነው so what it does is go to the iTunes it gets the data ፓወር አፕስ ላይ አይቱን ጋር ይሄድና አፕል አይቱን ጋር ይሄድና ዳታውን ያመጣና በዚህ መልክ አድርጎ ሪተርን ያደርጋል I created a power apps specifically ለሱ እና ሌሎችንም የግሩፕ ቅድም ብዬ ማወራውንም ለክላስ ተማሪዎች ዴሞ ያደረኩት ስለነበረ I was to do that one so I think it is called this guy if we edit this right here one final demo I know I'm running a little bit late and this is where I run it I think the iTunes is this guy and I'm gonna just search it. So here you can search anybody, any actor, any music እንትን የምታውቁት ዘፋኝ ካለ you can search ኢትዮጵያዊ የኔ ኤግዛምፕል ላይ የተጠቀምኳቸው ነበሩ እሺ ጥላሁንን ገሰሰ ሜቢ እንደዚህ ምጻፍ ከሆነ ሰርች ዜሮ ትራክ maybe I didn't write this one maybe እንደዚህ okay ጥላሁን ብቻ ላድርጎሽ here we go ሙላቱ ስታጥቄ so those are the ዘፈኖቹ ጥላሁን ገሰሰ ተጽፎ ነው የተሳሳትኩት GESS ነበረ እያንዳንዱ ዘፋኝና ሙዚቃውንም ሊንኩን you know you can use እንትን እቺን ፕሌይ ማድረግ ትችላላችሁ። ግን it only plays temporarily መግዛት ምናምን because መገዛት ስላለበት if I go there for example it opens that a preview so you can see this is ምግብማ ሞልቷል so that's ምግብማ ሞልቷል ከአፕል አይቱን ጋር ነው ያመጣው እና this is power apps and it uses ከጀርባው የፓወር ኦቶሜት ፓወር ኦቶሜት እዚህ ጋር whatever ሰርች ሪኳስት የመጣውን በዚህ ረስት ኤፒአይ ልኮ የመጣውን ከአይቱን ወደ ወደ ፓወር አፕሱ መለስኩት ፒክቸሯን ከዛው ላይ ከዚህ ምግብማ ሞልቷል ዋትኤቨር እዚህ አልቤም ላይ ለራሳቸው ጥሩ አድርጎ ዲስፕሌይ ያደርጋሉ። ለእኛ የደከመ ፒክቸር ነው እያችሁት በመለየት ራሱ አልችልም። አይ ቲንክ አይ ኩድ ፒክ ዘ ራይት ኢሜጅ ከዚህ ጋር ይህንን ፕሪቪውን ወስጄ እዚህ ጋር ማምጣት ትችላላችሁ። but the image that I got is not that clear አይደለም። Anyways, this is all I have for today. I don't have time to ask me anything. You can ask me anything again. አሁን ሰዓት የለኝም. I'm so sorry. But I will set up something. You could ask me crazy stuff, coding. I don't know, Power Platform. You can go anywhere, A to Z. የፈለጋችሁትን መጠየቅ ትችላላችሁ። ግን I will set up ፕሮሚስ ሌላ ቀን አሬንጅ አደረግና እንደዚህ ሜቢ አን አወር ኤንድ ሃፍ ዛሬ ቴክኒካል ዲፊካልቲስ ሀፐን አድርጎ ነው እንደዚህ የሆነው we will do another stations to deep dive more but I think this is a lot and I think you guys gonna get benefited ከዚህ በረስት ኤፒአይ የሰራኋቸው አንዳንድ ነገሮች ነበሩ እና ከአዡር ኮግኒቲቭ ሰርቪስ ጋር የተገናኘ እንደ ቲኬቲንግ ሲስተም ሆኖ አሁንም ሰዎች ቲኬት ክሬት ከሚያደርጉ እንደ ቻት ባት የሆነ ነገር ሶ ዛት ፒፕል ኢንተራክት እንትን ጥያቄያቸውን ይጠይቃሉ የተጻፉትን ዳክመንቴሽን ውስጥ ቼክ ያደርግና መልስ እንትን ይሰጣቸዋል እንዲህ የሆነብኝ ዱ ዚስ ሰልፍ ትረብል ሹት ታይፕ ኦፍ እንትን የሚሰራ ነበረ anyways but I don't have time to go through that crap anymore um, I'm gonna stop the video recording እዚህ ጋር የሰራሁት መሀል ላይ ነው የተጀመረው that's still fine but technical difficulties happen አድርጎ ስለነበረ